cars are getting safer and safer, but that's not stopping accidents from happening necessarily. If you guys hear some loud banging in the background, it's Abe. He's found essentially a cymbal, and he's found the loudest way to make noise is banging against the floor tile. So if you hear some high-pitched banging noises, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. He already is. All right. Today we're going over the most dangerous cars that you can see on the road, that you can drive. It's not a cheerful topic, but let's try to take it a little bit lighthearted today and maybe try to maybe not buy some of these cars that are extremely unsafe, I guess you could say, just due to the fact that if you drive a certain model or make, you're much more likely to die. All right. So, all right. With jokes aside and making death a laughing matter because, well, it's inevitable. These vehicles are up to 5 times more likely to have had a fatal crash. This is mind-blowing. If you guys like this informative style of news, make sure to smash the like button. My name's Kirk. I talk about industry auto news on the daily pretty much, and I also review cars. I'm getting finally the Honda Civic Hybrid this week, and I'm going to be testing that, doing some fuel economy tests, all that good stuff. All right. The IIHS says the last 5 years have seen a higher rate of accidents and fatalities on America's roads than the previous 12. Well, there's a lot of different reasons for that. I can think of there's a lot more electric vehicles on the road. And there's a lot, vehicles are heavier than they used to be, right, with all the SUVs that we have. So the fatal accident rate is extremely low. Don't be scared to get in your car, guys. The fatal accident rate is now 2.8 per billion miles, and the Hyundai Venue is a car with the highest fatal accident rate. This is one of the cheapest cars on sales. It's one of the lightest cars on sale, and you're going to see a trend today. Tesla has the highest fatal accident rate for all car brands. And we'll maybe speculate on why that is today as well. So IC Cars analyzed fatality data from the NHTSA and specifically the fatality analysis reporting system of model year 2018 to 2022 cars. All right, so we're not looking at older cars here, pretty new cars, with car crashes that resulted in at least one occupant fatality. So we have more airbags. We have safer designs than we've ever had before. We also have assistant driving technology to keep us on the road, blind spot monitor, lane keep assist, pre-collision alerts, all that thing, all those stuff. Despite that, these safety features are being countered by distracted drivers, higher rates of speed. Yikes. Well, we know how many people are on phones, all right? That's number one right here, distracted driving. Here's the thing. It's a bit ironic. If you look around while you're driving, you're going to see a lot of people on your phone, but then you yourself are also distracted. So anyways, let's get into the most dangerous cars. Let's start at the bottom of the list. All right. Toyota Venza. Didn't see that. Now, this isn't the old Venza. This is the new Venza. Is this a reason? Okay, well, you got to keep in mind the Venza is the Harrier in Japan, and it's really designed for the Japanese market. Is that a reason why it's more fatal than, let's say, something like the RAV4, which is on the same platform? Well, we'll see if the RAV4 is on this list. Also, another car made in Japan, the Infiniti Q50. However, this vehicle, even though it's new, it's also discontinued. All right, rest in peace, Skyline. Our first Tesla on the list, Tesla Model S. 2 times more likely to die in a Tesla Model S. All right, Prius. Well, I have a Prius. I'm still alive, okay? But they are light cars, and again, a vehicle made and designed in Japan. Dodge Charger, 2.1 times more likely. I think it's because it's rear-wheel drive, and you get people who, well, maybe drive a little bit recklessly. Tesla Model S is a super fast vehicle. Electric cars are very fast, and if you run out of traction, that's not good. And we see that with the Dodge Charger. Fast, rear-wheel drive, and Bronco Sport. I love the Bronco Sport. It's one of my favorite Fords. It just needs to have a hybrid, but yeah, you're 2.2 times more likely to die in it. And then, like its bigger brother, the Bronco, It's up there on the list. Okay, Kia Seltos, another small car made in Korea. Kia K5. K5. Where is a K5 made? I believe it's Georgia. Yes, the K5 is made in Georgia with the Telluride, the Sorento, and the Sportage, and the EV9. Nissan Versa, a light, tiny, cheap car, like the Venue, like the Seltos. The Seltos is a little bit more premium though. Camaro, just like the Charger, rear-wheel drive. People are going to drive maybe a little bit faster than you should. Toyota Corolla Hybrid. Another guys, I'm seeing a trend here. Toyota. Made in Japan Toyotas are more, you're more likely to die in them. It seems like it. The Prius, the Venza, the Corolla Hybrid. Interesting. All right, let's keep moving. Kia Soul. Well, that's pretty much the Venue with a Kia badge on. I know there are differences, but there you go. Buick Envision. Oh, well, the Buick Envision's made in China. All right, and that's cracking the top 10. I mean, a lot of them are made in Japan. Very few are made in here in the United States. So I just want to point that out. Kia Forte, another really small car. Rest in peace, Forte. Buick Encore GX, another small car. Mirage G4, probably besides the Miata, the smallest vehicle on sale in America. It's also going to be discontinued. Another Tesla on the list. All right. Fast car. It accelerates very quickly. If you don't realize you're out of traction, that's a part of it. Now, should I start talking about Tesla or should I wait? I think I'm going to wait. CRV Hybrid. Who would have thought a CRV Hybrid would be 4.6 times more likely to have a fatality than the average car? All right. That is mind-blowing. I don't know why that is. It's quite strange. All right. Porsche 911. Well, people are going to go fast as hell on the Porsche 911. Mitsubishi Mirage. Well, no surprise, we saw the G4, which is the sedan. The Mirage by itself is the hatchback. Well, you're more likely to die. So if you have to get a Mirage, maybe get the sedan. It's more safe. But you have to keep in mind, why is the sedan inherently more safe? Well, you have the trunk there to protect the rear passengers. But I don't know what the fatality rates are on the front seats of either of those vehicles. Anyways, Chevy Corvette, number 2 on the list. Chevy Corvette, another rear-wheel drive, fast as hell car. And number 1 on the list, drum roll, it's a Hyundai Venue. Well, we already talked about that. You're 5 times more likely to die in an accident in a Hyundai Venue. You're more likely to die in a Venue than a Corvette. All right, little Venue made in Korea. So you see maybe I don't know if it's a trend, but it's just something it's worth envisioning. Made in China, made in Korea, made in Southeast Asia. I think is it Thailand, the Mirage. So you have a lot of these made in Asia vehicles that have different safety standards over there. They still have to pass the safety standards in America, but they're really not designed for the American market. I think that's a part of it. You can also say, well, you have lighter vehicles made in Asia, these more fuel economy focused vehicles, the lighter vehicles, a lot of those are made in Asia. All right. And the lighter the vehicle, the more likely you are to maybe not survive a car crash. That's a theory as well. Now, interestingly, the Mazda Miata, it barely sits off the road. It's not in here. Maybe it's because it's slow. Okay, so you don't have a lot of self-induced, like unintended acceleration in the Mazda Miata. I don't. Maybe it also says Miata drivers are probably inherently good drivers. I would like to think that. Small cars are the most dangerous cars. Broken out by size, small cars have the highest fatality accident rate, while mid-size and full-size cars are both below average. Modern small cars benefit from latest engineering and safety tech, but they still have a size and weight disadvantage. It's just simple physics, guys. Full-size vehicles, the least fatal vehicles on the road. Small vehicles, the most fatal. Simple physics. Most dangerous SUVs. Let's get into this. Well, Venue, CRV Hybrid, Model Y, Encore GX, Buick Envision, Kia Seltos, Bronco. The Kona makes the list now. Nissan Kicks makes the list. I think the new Kicks is going to be safer, though. It's a little bit bigger. Chevy Trailblazer and Mercedes G-Wagon. You're 2 times more likely to die in a G-Wagon than a normal car. All right. They're fast. They're ancient. It's a tin can, I guess you could say. but the venue, you're 6.3 times more likely to die in an accident in a venue than you would in a normal SUV. I mean, I can't believe the CRV hybrid isn't there. Where's the RAV4? What in the world? Quite crazy that a CRV maybe this is looking at the older CRVs that are smaller. I just don't know. Let's look at trucks. They're most dangerous. Nissan Frontier, most dangerous truck. Ford Ranger, then Chevy Colorado, then Tacoma, then Gladiator. I'm surprised that Gladiator isn't higher because if you've driven a Gladiator, the steering's all over the place. Maybe it's because it's in a more engaging drive. You have to like keep your hands on the wheel, otherwise you're just going to go off. I don't know. That's just a theory. The steering is terrible in a Gladiator, but yeah, those are all smaller trucks as well. These are not full-size trucks. No full-size truck made it in the top 5 models for most dangerous. Find that fascinating. Most dangerous car brands. That's why Tesla was on the thumbnails, right? Tesla. You have 5.6 fatal accidents per billion miles. More than Kia. And Tesla makes heavy vehicles. Battery electrics are heavy vehicles. So what's going on here? Why is this brand more dangerous than any other brand? Okay, well, I'm going to take a couple stabs in it. Maybe they talk about it in this article, but I'm going to throw my opinion in there first. Well, you have their autopilot. And autopilot is, I hear, pretty damn good. But the problem with autopilot is that it's not certified autonomous driving. You're still required to pay attention and to have your hands on the wheel most of the time. The problem is people just completely check out, and autopilot is not designed for you to check out on. And so you're going to have fatalities there. You've also heard horror stories of people getting trapped in their burning Tesla and get incinerated. I don't know if that gets included in the accident rate, if that makes sense, right? That's just like a parking lot fatality potentially. What else about Teslas? Well, they're fast. We saw the Corvette, we saw the Chargers, the Camaros in there. Surprisingly, Mustangs weren't in there. But these things are fast and can get you into trouble very quickly if the conditions are not right and if you're not a good driver. Okay. Kia's so high on the list because they make lightweight, cheap cars traditionally. The EV9 is not a lightweight or cheap car. Buick, again, lightweight, cheap cars, largely made in Asia, like Kia. Again, I don't know if the Asia car thing, it's just, that's how you keep costs down a lot, right? Is you make lightweight, affordable, fuel efficient cars. You know, it's desirable, right? To have a cute little car that's easy to park, gets good fuel economy, low insurance rates in theory, right? Maybe not after this. Once the insurance brands get a hold of this data, maybe it's too expensive to insure a Tesla. Well, it already is expensive. Maybe it's too expensive to insure something like a Hyundai Venue. I don't know. Buick, I just talked about them. Dodge, well, yes, you have Hellcats. You have big V8s with tons of torque, tons of power, rear-wheel drive. And Hyundai, not surprised on the list when we see Kia and Buick in there as well. Most dangerous cars per metro area. Wow. Okay, so we didn't even have truck, like a full-size truck on any list so far. But if you go to New York, look at this accident rate on a Ram 1500. Philadelphia, Mirage. Rams. What the heck? Dallas-Fort Worth. So Rams are dangerous, apparently. WRX, you know, the vape bro stereotype. That could be a reason why. Maybe there's a high concentration in Chicago. San Diego, the Nissan Kicks. You know, that's interesting. San Diego is a very wealthy area. Nissan Kicks is one of the cheapest cars you can buy. But the new one's quite good, and I believe the new one's much safer than the old one. Kia Soul in Memphis, Tennessee is most dangerous. Well, maybe people are stealing them there. That's a possibility. And then, yeah, I don't want to speculate too much on that. But Atlanta, Georgia, Ram 1500. How is the Ram not on the list when you get into these big cities and the Ram 1500 is extremely fatal? Well, compared to the rest, I should say. Prius in Arizona. All right. Kia Soul in Minneapolis. Well, I hear there's a lot of stolen Kias up there. Albuquerque, Nissan Versa. Miami, QX80. There are a ton of QX80s down here. Don't know why it's so dangerous in Miami. Detroit, Nissan Sentra. Jacksonville, Kia Forte. Greensboro. So, like, as I'm just reading this list, if I lived in any of these metropolitan areas and I see, let's say, I'm in Phoenix and the Prius is the most fatal vehicle. Well, one, I wouldn't want to drive a Prius there, and two, I'd be keeping my eyes out for a Prius. So it's just it's kind of funny and in a sick, morbid way, I guess. Since we're talking about fatality, so you guys can pause here. I'm not going to go through every single city, but there you guys have it. All right. Major cities have certain vehicles that are much more likely to have fatal accidents. Honestly, the biggest surprise for me today is not Tesla. It's not these tiny Econoboxes. It's the CRV hybrid. Why is this vehicle 6 times more likely to have a fatality in an accident than the normal car? I don't understand. If you guys can shed light on it for me, I would appreciate it. I love the CRV hybrid, especially the newest generation, right? The newest generation is probably a lot safer, I would say, than the generation that it replaces. But why is the hybrid far more dangerous than the non-hybrid, right? That's also a huge head scratcher. I just don't understand what's going on there with the CRV hybrid. Let me know what else surprised you guys on the list. I mean, where's the Wrangler? I mean, the Bronco's on here, but where's the Wrangler? Shane, I guess you'd say the Wrangler was in here with the Gladiator being in the top 5 most dangerous pickups, but it was number 5 on the list, and the Tacoma was more dangerous than it. So anyways, I'm going to shut it down there. Very gloomy, sadistic humor sort of video today, which is all fun and dandy as long as, anyways, I better shut myself off before I make light of death any more than I have. All right. Stay healthy out there, guys. I am wishing you well, praying for you guys out there on the roads. I find this interesting. I ride motorcycles, right? Any motorcycle is way more dangerous than any of these cars on the list. I know the risks, but there's something about riding that maybe it's because it's living on the edge a little bit. I don't know. It's a special feeling. Okay. I don't get that special feeling in any car. So anyways, maybe a Miata. I love the Miata so much. All right. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care of yourselves. Drive safe out there. Put your phones down. Buckle up. Well, if you don't buckle up nowadays, your car will blow out your eardrums by chiming. Thank you guys. Stay safe and peace.